is Hyperfocus. I don't have an intro for this. And I am with...
Mars.
Cody.
Artemis.
Nee! Again, you should know this! Anyway, top of it now, because last time I decided this happened at the top of the episode. Cody! Aspect Blanket!
For this episode of the Aspect Blanket, I think we're also going to be happy, because we had a nice little... We're all settling in, we're getting our stuff going. Rokane's being a dramatic little bitch, but that's on him. But yeah. So,
oh my god, I'm gonna have to do something at the beginning of the next episode. I forgot. Some of you
to pass out gems.
Yeah.
You better make a note of who's getting what.
Yeah, I know who was supposed to get what, don't worry.
But yeah, I feel like it kind of falls into content. Maybe also a little inspired because Egan's getting his forge off the ground. Everyone's kind of figuring themselves out as they get settled in. So yeah, happy. So that's another teal blue line for episode 5.
Yeah, no, it's definitely the beginnings of the typical found family.
Yeah. We had our training montages essentially this episode.
There was some nice conversations.
Caxus is slowly starting to be informed he's a part of the team.
Yeah, he's not just Alfred. Which, like, Alfred is...
Again, Alfred is the last line of defense for a fucking reason.
But he's not just, like, there to serve you.
No. Mm-hmm. We're here to help each other.
So, any favorite moments? Any moments or anything you guys really want to talk about?
We didn't actually roleplay it out, but I think one of my favorite things was knowing that they were all outside getting to hang out and have
fun.
I did have a nice little image of like the family beach day of like Zealous out wading in the water and going, look how deep I can go, and diving and showing up. Like, I know he probably wasn't, but that's the vibe, while like Egan's sitting on the beach reading one of those trashy romance novels, just enjoying the sun, and Rokane's just like looking out for dragons, all but
oh my god,
there's
a yellow one.
And Caxus just kind of like sitting there going, friendship. Is that what this is?
This is nice.
I'm not being struck down for being outside.
So in that vein, Egan and he probably having some more just like casual get to know you conversation.
I'm gonna say, if you're close enough to Rokane, you definitely got info dumped on the moment one flew over.
Egan's fine with that.
I feel like there was definitely a moment of like you're reading that book and Caxus is just like, have you gotten past chapter 14?
I'm actually just about to chapter 14.
When you're done, you're going to want to scream.
I'm positively and negatively.
Felicity makes some choices.
Felicity, no!
And that is all I will say. But you know her track record up to this point.
Track record up to this record. Oh, Felicity, you have terrible taste.
Do we need to cut this from here and put it in the actual episode? I don't think we're supposed to be RPing in the talkback.
We definitely need to have other moments where we can just fully do like a family day on the beach. Yeah. But we had already done so much else in this episode.
Yeah.
I wanted to get us to Lace.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. We had like 3 episodes worth of not beach days, but very RP like
heavy.
Yeah.
We haven't had a lot of like action in a couple episodes.
Mm-hmm. Mars was saying earlier about how he thinks Rokane and Zealous have bonded more, and I'm curious to see like the actual interactions between them. And I don't doubt it's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But my interest is Zealous hasn't had to make friends in years. Mm-hmm. So like this is the first friend he's making in a long time, and how exactly he's going to be, because he was very, very close with his other friends, but this is not them, so he can't quite be the same with Rokane as he was with them. And I don't know, I think he's going to be kind of a weird fluctuation.
That's fair. And it might be kind of at first Rokane is like, this is my friend. I have a
And-
friend. And it not projecting, but projecting a little bit while Zealous is like, I've been adopted. I don't, what do?
Not so much I've been adopted. It's just like, oh, hey, cool, he wants to be my friend.
How do I do that again?
Yeah.
I don't remember how to do
I
that.
probably can't tackle him.
Most of my friends I made when I was 5 and 6.
I could
Fucking
tackle.
tackle him out of her. Just get his blind side.
He goes down like cheap cardboard.
He tackled his friends, and
No.
they were very
And
physical.
he's turn around and picks you up and like throws you off of him.
Yeah.
He is very strengthy.
To go back to the point of the OP that me and Cody accidentally did in this, it's fine. That's just what you guys get for being Patreon subscribers. You get a little a little nugget.
A little snippet of Egan and Caxus both just enjoying trashy romance novels. They're gonna make their own little book club of
Ugh.
trashy romance
Ugh,
books.
gross.
Okay, hey, man.
Zealous was underwater. He didn't hear this shit.
Yeah.
Cocaine walked away.
Or he was like just coming up to talk about like the green dragon he saw and heard the tail end of that.
That's a question. Would y'all have gotten concerned when Zealous dives underwater and doesn't come out for a while?
Probably the first few times, yeah. And
Cax is over there going, oh my god, he drowned!
Yeah, Caxus was like getting ready to jump in. I have to save him.
Brocaine's just like, is he not a sea elf?
No, he's a tiefling.
Press X stood out.
How many sea elves have you seen that have a tail and horns?
There's mixed races out there.
Okay.
He's just using his book knowledge of just assuming that you're a sea elf thing. Like,
sea elf thing.
I don't know if he thought tiefling right off the top of his mind.
I'm surprised he didn't think Triton, though.
I think that's what I meant to say, but
Oh.
sea. Well, I mean, he's
Well,
an
he
elf.
is
Maybe
an
sea
elf. He's probably more familiar with other elven
but
races.
he probably did like spew out like several different races
Like-
that can breathe underwater.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Just Triton, sea elf, the less possible but possible water genasi.
Oh.
It's possible it also just came with his sorcerer abilities.
It's true. But yeah, definitely the first time or two, Egan was also iffy of, I'm not a strong swimmer, but should we be concerned?
Yeah, this whole
And then he pops up like, this is so cool. I was like, oh, he's just fine. Okay.
pops up and Cactus halfway in the water like, oh, you want to come swim too?
Yes, that is why I am in the water, to go swimming.
Meanwhile, Caxus doesn't go outside often. I doubt he knows how to swim.
Oh no, please don't try to swim in the water.
And to jump back to the conversation of friends, another thought thing that came to my mind for Rocaine is whenever he made his first friend, he kind of like they threw themselves fully into being in a friendship.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, Rocaine's going to be fully into this friendship, only for it to get hit with the realization of, oh, I need to pull away and distance myself because I'm not supposed to have friends.
What? Why are you not supposed to have friends?
Because I have a job to do.
You're allowed to have friends and have a job. You can do both things.
It's not... I forgot the word.
Even your mother has fucking friends, my
Yes,
dude.
But they're friends, like, they're higher up friends that have...
But they're still, like, they're work friends. Like, they're in the same circles.
Yeah.
Like,
I can't think of the word that I used earlier, and that aggravates me.
Advantageous friends?
Basically, yeah.
Help
friends
give-
with benefits, but the benefits are not sex.
Yeah.
the benefits are political power.
Yeah, because like if we were to stay, I hate that he thinks like this, but if we were to stay friends when he becomes ambassador, what is this friendship bringing to the table?
Happiness.
Happiness doesn't matter when the fucking I'm required to make sure this is good.
That's when happiness most matters.
My job's not to be happy, is apparently what he thinks.
Oh my god, Roque.
So many people needing to unlearn so many things.
At least Caxus's makes, like...
I mean, Rokane's makes sense
Yeah.
as well, given how he was raised
That's
and
true.
the what he thinks he needs to prove himself to be, considering his sister.
Mm-hmm.
His happiness left with his sister.
Aww. Speaking of, yeah, so meanwhile, it's a weird thing with Rokane and Zealous. Like, Egan doesn't not view them as friends, but it's also like, you're children.
It's like that thing when you're 30, I shouldn't have a 20-year-old friend when I'm 35. I shouldn't have a 20-something-year-old friend when I'm 46. That's a little creepy. Yeah, the 38-year-old Caxus being my friend?
That's reasonable.
Again, I am 70. I'm older than all of you.
You're a
Again,
child.
You're a child. Again, Egan dated and had a child with an elf. He knows you're an elf by elf. You're a child by elf standards.
Meanwhile, Zealous just thinks that's bizarre because he's friends with people in his village that are in their 60s and stuff, just because it's a small village and you're friends with people.
And that's fine. And Egan, it's just also like, he, like a lot of you, Drake has been his best friend since the beginning of time.
Mm.
And Chandra's party, to varying degrees, are his friends. Like, he's friendly with plenty of people, but, like, he goes and has a drink and shoots the shit with Drake.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all are getting to the point that y'all are in that kind of close relationship that y'all would share a drink and shoot the shit, and that's a little weird to him. It's like, this is a new situation.
And Caxus just has friends.
And that, in and of itself, is weird to poor Caxus. He doesn't know what to do with that.
Also reminds me of whenever we were talking about the artifact room, and Rokane's like, yeah, I want to go. And then Zealous was all like, I want to go too. And then just Rokane was just like, oh, maybe we can go together. Which is funny because, like, I made jokes of them having a relationship, like, outside. We were going to say that most of our fan base were going to ship them.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think it was actually going to be like this. So leaning into it's kind of funny, even though he does have a boy back there.
Again,
You
Rokane
have 2 hands!
He could lose one. You don't know.
Spiritually 2 hands.
You emotionally have, well, emotionally you don't have any hands right now. But spiritually, yeah, you have 2 hands.
Zealous hasn't even like gotten to that point at all. He's still at
He's still trying to reconciling this is a new friend.
Yeah.
Much less anything else.
Though he has gained a positive opinion of Rokane, because previously
That's
he'd
good.
kind of been holding it off, because Rokane was just bouncing all over the fucking place with...
While also
Yeah,
being
let's-
weirdly
We
standoffish.
haven't
Yeah.
really checked in since, like, episode 1. How's everyone feeling about each other? Like, on a personal, like, one-by-one, like...
I mean, he's always liked Egan. Egan was never an issue, so he just feels more and more comfortable around Egan, and I don't think he realizes Egan views him as a child, so he has no weirdness there at all.
And like you said, just how he grew up, it's not weird to be friends with people that are old enough to be your dad, old enough to be your grandpa, yeah. So.
Yeah, and since he's not a child, he's an adult and everything, that it wouldn't occur to him that Egan looks at him like a child in some ways.
Mm-hmm.
So he's,
Yeah.
we're
Not in a condescending way,
Yeah,
I'm sure,
not
but-
like,
no.
oh, you are a baby and shouldn't be here. It's just like, you are almost young enough to actually be his son.
Yeah.
So
you have a more sense of awareness that you are older
Mhm.
and therefore need to be slightly different with
Yeah.
a younger person than Zealous has with going, they're older, I need to be slightly different. He doesn't have that
Yeah.
sense at all. That's kind of fair, honestly.
No, yeah.
The older, more mature person has to properly kind of adapt.
yeah, has to arrange those boundaries as
Yeah.
they need to be. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, but yeah, he's cool with Egan. Totally fine with vibing there and everything.
Yeah.
Hey, he's liking Rokane, and it's weird because, again, he hasn't had to make a new friend, and this
Yeah.
is a different friend than the ones he's known. So he's still trying to figure out the dynamics correctly there.
Mm-hmm.
Because, again, like, I probably can't go tackle Rokane. I used to tackle my friends all the time.
So happy to have a new friend, but still trying to figure out the parameters of that
You
friendship.
could try to tackle him. If he doesn't know you're coming, maybe you could take him out. But he might be able to body you if he sees you coming.
Possibly. What is your strength?
13.
11. So we're
Yeah.
we're not that far off.
No.
Egan and Caxus just come outside one day to find these two fuckers just wrestling on the beach.
Should we go inside?
I don't know. We might need to leave.
And meanwhile, Zealous has gotten a lot better with Caxus too. It helped that he was there helping with the training and everything, and gave him that time to try to figure out a little bit more before going, "Hey, here's another edition. Bye." So he's feeling more positive.
He's
about-
understanding him a bit more.
Yeah, feeling more positive, understanding Caxus a bit more, and a lot more of, this poor guy has been trapped here. Oh my god, I feel so bad for him.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Egan's opinions haven't really changed
Changed.
all that much. Like, he feels a lot of sympathy towards Caxus. Not pity, but sympathy, because this is a tough bill this guy's been given. But feels a good sense of, like, before he's like, I don't know this guy, he seems to be doing his best, but he can see a true friendship growing between them. And again, yes, he views Rocaine and Zealous as children to a degree, but again, not in the condescending,
Like they're your equals.
Yeah, like they're his co-workers, but it's like, again, the 46-year-old vibing with the 20-year-olds at Target. It's just like, yes, we have the same job, but I still have a lot more life experience.
it's-
It puts us on a weird, different level from each other.
Yeah, it's kind of like I have coworkers who are 19, and like I get along with them. We joke around. I wouldn't go out with them. I wouldn't go to see a movie with any of them. You know,
Yeah.
we're friendly.
So, like, he cares about Rocaine and Zealous both. Like, they're good guys. He sees a lot of potential in them. Definitely thinks they're both probably better suited for this adventure than he is. Because, again, he was already considering, things like retirement and getting little Egan set to his mentorship of learning how to handle the forge and stuff. Not, oh, I'm going to suddenly become an adventurer now. In my middle age, but okay. So, like, he respects all three of them and he cares about them. It's just a very different dynamic than even the Zealous views and how he views, but he likes them all just fine and gets that we're all in a shit show together. We're all up a river without a fucking oar, but we'll figure it out.
I guess that makes it my turn.
Yeah.
Okay. So, another realization I came to is it might not be a crush for Zealous. It might just be this is a new friend. I need to pour all of my energy into this friend. Because that just, I guess, focuses in on being friends, so he wants to do everything together. I guess. I'm not exactly sure.
A different version of I have a friend, but I don't know how to have a friend kind
Yeah.
of thing. Yeah.
Or it could be, who knows if it's a crush or not.
Yeah.
Kane
Yeah.
doesn't know.
Even
I don't want to
Rocaine doesn't
force
know.
it into that
Yeah.
just so, like, if
It's
that's
just-
what the listeners want. Because, again, he does have the boy he likes back
Just
home.
have the boy he likes
And this
back
is a
home.
new friend to a point.
I mean, it might develop more, but that's where, we let that be to what the story
Yeah.
is and
Yeah.
everything.
You just let the characters naturally develop
So
if
it's
that's
like
the
a-
direction they go.
Oh, you want to go look at that? We should hang out and go look at it together. Oh, you want to go do that? Oh, I guess I can go sit on the beach and watch you swim while I do this. Like, it's just...
I mean, to be fair to Rocaine, he has not really been able to differentiate friend and crush, because
That's true.
That's
'cause
fair, yeah.
His main friend is also his main crush, so...
Yeah. So, yeah, there's that. As for Egan, it's 100% like, oh, I see him as a, like, business partner. We must be professional. Like, I get it. It's just, I feel like it's always like, oh, I found these books. Here are these for you. You're working on that. Okay, bye-bye. Like, there's been no, like, personal connection, except for when he just drops all of that to just info dump about his interest. But, like, everything's out the window when it comes to that.
Yeah, no, yeah.
So there's still that separation of, oh, we're not close, but we know we're working together.
Yeah. And I think to a degree, Egan lets Rocaine take the lead on a lot of that. Like, he's definitely reciprocal in talking and isn't against, like, starting conversations with Rocaine. But it's kind of like, especially seeing how Rocaine is with Zealous, it's like, he doesn't want to have that kind of personable relationship with me either yet or not at all, and that's fine. I will be friendly, but I'm not going to force something more camaraderie if that's not wanted, kind of thing.
Yeah. I don't know where Rocaine's getting caught up in that of, because I guess it's to him, it's like, he wants to stay business related, like coworkers, not friends. I don't know. He's caught up on that for some weird reason.
Because Rocaine views almost everything in the degree of
Transactional.
transactional.
Yeah.
Zealous is a weird exception to that.
Yeah, that was, I don't know. We just...
Essentially because I am closer in
Age, probably.
emotionally, maturity-wise.
Mature, yeah. You're so young. I am so old.
It might help, too, that I don't know that Zealous has not... As far as... I mean, you guys probably will know that Zealous is a salvager and everything, but it's not the same level of business professional as Egan, even.
Yeah.
And as for Caxus, he died for every one of you.
Which that horrifies Zealous, by the way.
Yeah, it horrified Egan a little bit as well.
That upset Rocaine because it reminded him of somebody.
Oh.
Which one?
Who do you think?
Well, there was two of them. I know it's your mentor.
Yes,
but like,
obviously.
someone else you cared about did die in front of you.
Died in front of him, not for him.
That's true.
Yeah. Well, he failed her, too, but it was more so...
By the way, I believe some of this information is in the prologue. So.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which...
For anyone a little confused of, like, the mentor we keep talking about and stuff, that is
In our prologue.
talked about in our prologues.
Okay.
So, yes, you don't have to listen to them, but you get some if you know you knows out of those.
Yeah. I am looking for where I have their names so that I can say them.
I'd say it, but I have so many names in my head at any given point for each of you.
You must learn all
Kursai.
the names.
Kursai.
is the mentor who died protecting Rocaine. And then Clarissa just fucking died. Well, Rocaine's assuming he died.
Oh, yeah, no, that was just me being
Yeah.
me.
There is that possibility in the back of my head that thinking like he just got corrupted and he's going to be one of the future ones that I'm going to have to undo, and that might just absolutely wreck Rocaine.
Undo if you can, or put him out of his misery.
You can't fucking put him out of his misery. You're going to have to do that, or you're going to have to do that, but he can't fucking do that. I can tell you that right now. But anyways.
Okay, well, besides Cactus being like, I'm going to die for all of them.
Which is also half duty related, not how he just feels about everyone.
But also you all his, like, second to fourth friends that he's ever had. Because he does count Theo as
a friend, yeah, that's fair.
Which you'll especially get when you finally meet Theo. But so that's part of it. Like, it is duty, absolutely. Like, before he met you, he would have died for you. But, like, now he, like, knows you as people, knows you're good people, would die for you. He's definitely feeling closest with Egan.
That
but,
makes sense.
Yeah. Half age and half just... Egan's been the most... Like, there was a frustration on Caxus's end for a little bit. There was a clear divide with Rocaine for a little bit. Egan has always been very open from the beginning of...
This sucks, but we're all in this together. How are you feeling, Caxus?
Yeah.
Because your feelings also matter.
Yeah, which... that was... Being asked that was just like, oh, no, I'm taking care of you. I'm guiding you. But
so many toxic things we need
yeah,
to
so
get
many
unlearned.
things so many people need to fucking unlearn in this game. Goddamn.
He's had a hard time, guys.
And we get that, but that doesn't change the fact he needs to unlearn some shit.
He's protective of all of you, obviously. Probably feeling the closest friend-wise to Egan. He feels a weird sort of kinship with Zealous. Like, not quite friendship, but almost like...
But we both have these powers no one was around to tell us how to use.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Like, he's like, I want to be what I didn't have for you, but I can't. You know, I didn't know what to expect. And then he's also having these things of like, well, if no one ever activated, did anyone ever know what to expect? You know? So he feels a kinship with you. And he feels a little awkward around Rocaine because he doesn't know what he did. Like, you told him it wasn't his fault, but for a little bit, you clearly thought it was.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I don't know what block Rocaine has, but that gap has not been bridged yet.
No.
Like, Rocaine is actively trying to be nice to him, but he is still possibly standoffish to a point.
Yeah.
I mean,
And, like, Caxus isn't going to push it.
Yeah, and y'all didn't have the full conversation. You asked Caxus a question to like get an answer you needed, but you still haven't kind of had the heart on my sleeve, cards on the table, full heart-to-heart conversation of why you were the way you were with Caxus.
Yeah. So if anything, it's like he wants there to be more of at least more of a like a co-worker friendship here happening, but he's not going to push it. There's a real friendship forming between Egan and Caxus, and there's almost like a. Right now, it's just a kinship, but I could see it becoming sort of a big brother sort of bond. Yeah.
I could see that too, potentially.
I could see it turning that way. It's not there yet, but like it's.
But we're only in episode 5.
Yeah, the kinship that's already forming. He feels responsible for each of you, but for some reason he feels the most responsible for you. And not in that like desperate like I need to protect him and he can't protect him, but like he feels the most responsible for like helping you. And I can't explain why, but he does.
Well, again, Egan, like his newfound abilities, he's always known how to use a blade. He can just do it better now. Rocaine's always known how to use a sword. He can just do it better now. Yes, technically, Zealous has always had magic and can just do it better now, but it wasn't that innate ability. And, again, Caxus knows that I know what it's like to know I have all these abilities, but just get thrown into the deep end and got told, figure it out. So, it's just kind of that he knows the frustration that Zealous is going through right now.
Yeah. And Zealous is a lot more expressive about that frustration than he was.
Caxus didn't really have anybody to express that frustration even to.
Yeah, so it would have been moot.
Yell at Echo.
Yeah, Caxus was the equivalent of the ignore the crying baby. Eventually they will all be silent because there's no one there to hear them and take care of them.
Yeah. Oh, which, fun fact, some of the doodles... Excuse me. Some of the doodles were little Caxuses.
Aww.
Aww. It's kind of sad that he went into a wardrobe for that.
He was suddenly in this big, strange place. He kind of
closed
wanted
himself into a small
sad.
place. Yeah. Rocaine almost closed himself in there to see if like something would happen, but I was like, no, that's
Backing
silly.
up though to Rocaine and his kind of oddness about Caxus. It might have something to do with the trauma of the way he met Caxus too, with his mentor dying and all that stuff happening and losing his eyes, and Caxus is just mixed up into that emotions that he hasn't properly untangled.
That's possible, yeah.
So yeah, we talked a lot in depth this one. This might be a slightly longer one for you guys.
Just like 5 minutes or
Yeah,
so.
well, because we still have a little bit of like theories and favorites.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why, but I think my favorite moment was actually you getting your foci.
Really?
Yeah.
It definitely made Zealous a lot more relieved. Like, oh my gosh, thank God this is not just me. There was something I was missing that should help now.
Yeah, and then Egan reaffirming, yeah, a lot of spellcasters have those. Hopefully that helps.
Yeah. And as you said to Egan, like, there weren't a lot of spellcasters in my village. So, like, doesn't really know. I mean, like, it's one of those things he probably learned about in Arcane Focus in a vague way, but it's not ever was today thing, really.
Kind of like in history class that you were maybe half paying attention to, talking about spellcasters in the realm. Oh.
Yeah, and, kind of that vague idea, spellcasters, they have wands and staffs that they use, but that's just kind of the stereotypical image you have, but you don't really ever think about why. Or, do that connection and everything.
Yeah, no, I think that was my favorite, and I don't know why. I don't have a V. I just really liked that. Like, I liked the image of them all on the beach together, and the gentle encouragement of getting Caxus to come out, but...
I think it's partly because, like, yes, they were already starting to bridge that gap of frustration with the training itself, but that was, like, not the first, but, like, a true, almost olive branch of sorts. Like, here is a true step forward for you. Hopefully.
Again, that might have something to do with that kinship he feels of being... He never had someone to go, like, here's this object that can make it easier for you.
Yeah, and it's a very concrete, this should make it easier thing.
Yeah.
Not a... It might. I don't know. Figure it out. This... By all intents and purposes, by all knowledge of magic, this should help.
What was your favorite moment?
I don't know if I specifically had a favorite moment. There were ones that I liked, but I don't know if they were strong enough for them
That's
to
fair.
be my favorite. One of them being Rocaine getting the knowledge of the ancestors. He was pretty happy to get information like that. Another being, I don't know if this was this session now that I'm mixing it up, but he enjoyed the snapping at Caxus of the not everyone learns at the same.
That was this one.
Yep. Everyone learns at a different pace. I don't know why I like that one so much.
It was a nice little additive.
Because it was like the smallest little outlet Rocaine had been to allow himself to be mad at Caxus without it being obvious he was mad at Caxus for himself.
Yeah. And then another one being... Fuck, I lost it. It was the first one I thought of, too. The sneaking up apparently on Zealous. It was like, I wasn't sneaking.
I just thought of a secondary favorite moment too. Egan's reaction to finding out he was near the Dragon's Hoard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot of information to get in 30 seconds, and I need to process that now, yeah. I think my favorite moment was the talk Egan had with Caxus, and, like, Caxus being told for the first time, you're a person too that's allowed to have autonomy and feelings. It's not your job to take care of us. Just letting him know that they were equals, basically.
Yeah. You are not lesser than us just because you are the guardian.
Yeah. It's like, yes, it may be your job to guide us down this path, but that doesn't mean we can't also help you with other things. You're allowed to lean on us too. And just the first little door opening in Caxus learning he's allowed to be a person.
I think my favorite moment was with Rocaine and Caxus. The Caxus attempting to confront Rocaine and be like, I know there's a problem, I want to solve it. And Rocaine sort of, but not really opening up. So there's still that tension, almost cliffhanger there of what's going to be happening with them.
Like, will it settle or will it boil over?
Yeah.
Any predictions, hopes for the future?
Our first fight went so well, whatever we find in Leith is just gonna fucking body us.
Prediction, Zealous goes down in the first fight.
Not if I'm able to protect you.
Zealous goes down on the first fight.
Ideally, you'll be distanced now. Ideally.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
I'll do my best to protect you.
I appreciate it, but yeah, it's a fun prediction. I'm going to go down. It's fine.
Which is an interesting I guess maybe a prediction, but more so just a thought again of apparently Rocaine feels as though he has to live up to his ancestors' role.
Oh, so
Of-
the boy didn't already have enough fucking insecurities.
But now he needs to be the protector of the party.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be. I really like the idea that it's possible that it's gonna be Vocane's the first who, like, mid-battle to reach out and get something. And, like, obviously it might not happen. But that's my prediction, that it's gonna be Vocane who's the first to reach out and get an ability that isn't from the stone, from an ancestor. Or from this other force that you guys
From
seem
this
to
other
be.
force, especially since you're the only one touched by this other force so far.
I'm tainted.
You're already tainted.
Trust me, he's gonna freak out the moment that I use that ability.
Meanwhile, Zealous is just like, I got this ancestor. We ain't found shit on him, so alright.
Well,
Yeah, Egan hasn't put a lot of thought
You
into
know
the
he was a
ancestor.
rogue?
Yeah, sure, alright.
Yeah, Egan hasn't put a lot of thought into his ancestor. It's like, again, a lot of information. I'm going to focus on my forge because I can control that. Apparently, he also has some gentle control issues. That's a lot. I don't know what to do with that, so I'm going to fix my forge, my new forge.
Yeah, apparently the trance is when he does his deep thinking.
Yeah, and I like to imagine it's a nice big forge. It's just old.
It's just old, so yeah, there's a lot of dust to clean out and parts
Maybe some
to
parts.
tighten and oil and like get back up
Replace.
to snuff. And yeah, some do need replacing just because that's what time does. Because who the fuck knows how long this has been here?
Yeah, but unless there's anything else that you guys definitely want to mention about this episode, or anything like you're excited for being in Lathe.
Zealous is
People
just like,
should-
shit, I'm going to lay. How cool is this?
People should at me with ridiculous romance novel titles.
Yeah, yes, add us with ridiculous romance titles so we can say that's what Egan is reading.
Just give me a list that I can pull out of for fucking trashy romance novels.
Along with, like, character names. Like, if you really want to get into it, do, like, trashy romance novels and, like, a one sentence of what it's about. Kind of like how I gave with a thief who stole my heart. Just, like...
Those are piling up in your room, and Rokane stops by. Like, have you read the books I gave you yet?
Yes.
Are you lying?
No.
This is a roleplay that should
Insights. If you're lying, you're grounded from your books. I'm older than you.
Anyway, thank you, everyone, for supporting us, for listening. We hope you enjoyed it. I don't have an outro for this. Bye!
Goodbye.
God takes me out every time.